Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I did one last night. Wasn't for dawn, evening time. I was really struggling with this cold, but I made it through, and wasn't much of a challenge. That was a good one to do for that. This will be more of a challenge, but I think I'll get it right. This is Lajita Mezcal Artisanal Reposado. It's rested in oak for a little while. That's why it's kind of yellowish, and it has a worm. You know, the caterpillar in it, larva. Caterpillar becomes a moth. This runs about $27 at Total Wine and More, but we got it when it was $19.99. For some reason, they had it $19.99, so I bought it, and it's really good. But it did go up about $8. They might have had it mispriced, but it's been on the market since 1989. Still got 60% of the bottle left. 60%. Here's El Silencio. It's from Casa Silencio. They run resorts in Mexico, and it I guess is contracted for them, I would assume, but maybe they own it. Maybe they own a distillery also. I couldn't really figure it out. It is 43% alcohol. I have to update my notes. And this is the Espadin. It's rather smoky. Now they have another one called the Ensemble. Clear bottle, silver bottle, which is the blended mezcal, different agaves blended together, which they say is the sipper. They say this one is the mixer. I don't know why the 43% stronger one would be the mixer, but that's how they're approaching it. It's up to them. This was like about $30. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, about $30. I think I remember I bought it at Star. I was saying to myself, I was saying that I bought it at Total Wine and More, but I believe it was Star. But a lot of places close to New Orleans sell it. So I've never seen it in this town, but we have only 28,000 people here, so we get a lot more limited selection than say Metairie with over 200,000 people, in New Orleans with over 300,000. The whole New Orleans area, 1 million people closer in. So common sense, they're going to have more selection. Now Gibraltar, when I was there last week, that's only 30,000 people, but the liquor availability is amazing to collect, the collections they've got. But that's because half the people, or probably 80% of the purchases are, tourists coming off cruise ships and on an airplane or walking across from Spain. So yeah, or driving. You can drive in. So I don't live in a tourist town, So common sense, tourist towns are going to have more of a selection. New Orleans has more of a selection. Hi, hello, Herbie. Let me update this. I forgot to put the ABV, 43%. Okay. Make sure I got my tags correct. Twist cap. You think it would have? It looks like it styrofoam inside. It looked like it would have a cork, right? But no. Nope. Just a plastic twist cap. Nice looking bottle though. Gotta give it credit. What's the difference between mezcal and tequila? Well, tequila is a type of mezcal, okay? It's like when people ask, what's the difference between whiskey and bourbon? Bourbon is a type of whiskey. There is no difference. It's just a subcategory. Mezcal is the category. Tequila is the subcategory, a particular type of mezcal. Obviously, the most popular type. Gold plastic cap, built-in pourer. Now, built-in safety pourer. What they do for this is they put this thing, because you can only pour out. You can't pour in. They put that on the Buchanan's, James Buchanan scotch, because there's a problem down in Latin America where they remove the good scotch and put a cheap one in it, try to sell it as the regular product. So this will only pour out. If you pour, it'll just come, it won't go in. Okay, nice embossed bottle. It's got the agave plant on the back. It's got these little bubbles or whatever. You know, it's very very nice classic Mexican bottle from Licores Vera Cruz, which is a liquor company obviously located in Veracruz. I've never been to Veracruz, but I have been to many towns in Mexico. I've been to every state in Mexico that borders the United States, actually. Well, you might be able to notice that this one is a little yellowish, just a little bit, and this one is clear. Oh, yeah. So I got to close my eyes. I was going to open the curtains, but still dark out there. It might be a little light by now. I have to close my eyes because if I glance and I see that yellowish, challenge is over. It's ruined, you know. No, Maine. Now, one thing I liked about England, one thing I did not like was the cold, 32 degrees, freezing, and the ice, and the humidity making me colder. But, well, you know, that's how it goes. Luckily, I had my windbreaker and 2 T-shirts underneath, and long pants and warm socks, and those leather tennis shoes. But they had, maybe they have it here. You know, I don't really go to McDonald's, but they have the chicken Big Mac. Had a big sign that had McDonald's on the corner. Chicken Big Mac until January 3rd. And it was a Big Mac, but it was made with chicken, you know, the McChicken thing. I said, oh boy, maybe this is sold around here. I hadn't seen any ads for that. I'm kind of out of touch with things, you know, like I was telling people at work, oh yeah, you know, in Gibraltar, the Burger King, and in Spain too, the Burger King has a burger, like a big, like not a Whopper, but big like a Whopper with a fried egg on the top of the meat. And somebody told me, they have that here? I said, they do? I didn't know that. I know one thing, the onion rings at the Gibraltar Burger King, they are no good compared to the American onion rings. It's a different recipe. It's a different batter. Oh, I mean, they were good, you know, if you want to call Burger King onion rings of any sort good. But you know what I'm saying. They didn't have the same, and they didn't have onion ring sauce. I said, oh, I need some onion ring sauce. They said, oh, we have brown sauce and ketchup. I said, what? Because, you know, if you go to Burger King around here, they have that remoulade sauce, you know, for the onion rings. It's like remoulade sauce, and that really makes them better. And the brown sauce was like, I don't know what brown sauce is. It's sort of like a cheap version of Worcestershire sauce. And I was like, yeah, you can taste that high fructose corn syrup in this. I mean, it was tolerable. That's all I'm going to say about it. Tolerable. I can't pick up any differences on the nose, but I do have a cold. But otherwise, it still may not make a difference. You see, it just may not make a difference. The nose just might not be where it's at on these two. Yeah, so it's about nothing much, even. Appearance, well, they both look fine. One is yellowish, one is clear, so that doesn't matter. Taste time, cheers. Now remember, the price is about $3 difference, so you're going to pay about $3 more for El Silencio. Sweet and well, I'll tell you the truth, tastes a lot like sugar water, but it's 40%. So drink it like sugar water, and you're like, all right. So, but yeah. Over here. It's strange. I'm not picking up any smoke now. I thought the Lajita and the Silencio had a smokiness, but not this morning. No. Mm. Now your counter argument might be like, oh, it's because you ate that Food Club unfrosted strawberry filled toaster pastry. That's what screwed it up. Why did you do that? You should have never done. Then that wasn't good enough. You had to take a 500 milligram dose of vitamin C. You had to take that pill and the 3 cups of coffee and the FBI. And now you're wondering why you can't take the smoke, taste the smoke. Well, I don't think that's the reason for the season, but it could be. Like John Lennon said, I give you everything I got for that piece of mine. All right. And it's a game. $43% alcohol versus 40%. Clear versus yellowish. $30 versus $27. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I gotta just call this one a draw because it don't taste much difference. And I can't find anything to stand out on it. It's nothing bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's nothing bad. It's anything bad. Maybe a little bit of the sugar water is not a benefit, but to sip on these and say something's bad about it or nasty, no. We reserve that for the one I had last night that stink and rot. Monty Alban. I'll say one thing about it, it's memorable and it's distinct. So you won't forget the flavor and you won't ever confuse it with any other. There's only one little technical problem. The gaming license is still in Klingman's name. No, the thing about it is that it tastes bad. That's the problem. So yeah, it's distinctive, but it's distinctive bad. It's bad distinctive. It's like Godzilla versus Megalon. Well, yeah, that's unique, but what else are you going to say about it? Only one good scene in the whole movie when the lake drains. The rest, you say no. I thought it was very dramatic to see Godzilla fight a giant cockroach looking thing. And then Gigan inexplicably showed up, like for no reason. And then a robot turned into a huge giant robot, also for no apparent reason. All right, anyway. Where is the intelligence in this? Okay, so I'm going to say, I think, I'm not sure. Man, I hate when these things are so tough like this. It's so irritating. It's really a frustration. Like Soft Cell said, frustration. I have job, ordinary job. I think this is the Lajita because there might be, and probably isn't, but there might be a little twanginess to it. Is the ABV making a difference on the taste? No, I can't pick it up. Can't pick up the difference. Boy, that was a close call if they ever had one. But there was something like a little scintilla of something that differentiated it, but it was so minimal, you know. So which one would I buy on this matchup? Obviously, the cheaper one. Common sense. Save $3. You hadn't gained anything, but you hadn't lost anything. But you gained $3. You know, you gained $3. So hey, it's all right. I'm a little disappointed in this challenge because I thought it was going to be like a big difference and it's going to have a lot of elaboration to it, but it did not. And so, yeah, it happens sometimes. It happens sometimes that you do these and you think it's going to be all of these things, but then you try them and it's just like this. You know, you think it's going to be like this, and then it's like this. And you're like, man, oh, well, but then you just move on. So tomorrow, we'll start the day tomorrow with a smile. 4, 2, 1, 2. All right, but you know what I'm saying. We're gonna do another mezcal, and I think I'm gonna do the Ryu. Now, to me, and this could be a faulty memory. To me, it's going to have a little smokiness, but then I thought I don't know. It could just be this could be a whole series of frustration. Whole series of frustration. And I'm willing to deal with it. I'm prepared to deal with it. I just don't want to deal with it. I'll tell you one thing. I'll be glad when it's on to rye whiskey. Do I prefer rye whiskey over mezcal? No, not really, but not necessarily, but I just think it'd be a little less frustrating. Okay, anyway, let's look at the comments. Burley Sullivan says, you, B Aviation, good morning, Ron. Did people in Gibraltar have a unique accent or was it standard British accent? Standard British accent. You know, the little kids going to school, wearing their short pants, dress up like the guy from AC/DC, you know. But I didn't see them wearing ties. Now, when I was in England on Thursday morning, and all the kids were going to school wearing like a suit jacket, you know, like if you go into a wedding, and a tie and pant slacks. All wearing suits. I said, boy, you wouldn't see that around here, maybe unless you went to Jesuit high school. I don't know. No, they don't even wear a jacket. So I don't know. I don't ever seen that before. I've seen that on movies like Harry Potter, but I had to watch every one of those movies. My daughter wanted me to watch every one of those movies. And I hate to watch a movie, you know, but I watched them all and I was miserable and I didn't care what happened and I hated it. But I watched them all. And I can't remember what happened in any of the movies except that they had some kind of adventure and it was always solved at the end. But yeah, they had like an accent, like a British accent. Yeah, same thing. It's like being in England, but it wasn't England. You know, it was like England over there. England and the English colony over there. But most of the people spoke Spanish, honestly. They were all speaking Spanish. You know, they're bilingual, you know, they could speak English, but they were all talking Spanish. Couldn't understand a word. A lot of the people at the restaurants and the grocery store couldn't speak a lick of English because they come across the border every day to work. And they get the cheap labor from Spain. And even the manager in the grocery store said, anybody in this grocery store speaks English? The manager said no. Great. But yeah, the people that did speak English, where you would think you were in merry old England. And they had English guys there. I went to this Roca Bay beach, called Roca Bay, and they had a gang of British guys, English guys, obviously English, not Welsh or Scottish, fishing, out there fishing, drinking San Miguel beer. It took like a weekend to go down there and probably get roaring drunk. I said, y'all caught anything? They said, oh, only a mackerel, one mackerel. I said, well, I didn't ask how long they were out there. But you could tell they were right there from England. And it's only 2.5 hours on a plane, 2.5 hours. It's like for me to go to Dallas. I'm sure the plane fare was cheap. I got a cheap fare. I went all the way from Louisiana to Dallas to England to Gibraltar and back. And on the way back, skipping Dallas, thank goodness. London to New Orleans straight flight. Round trip, $707.60. I think that's what it was. $707.60. Round trip, $707.60. That's after tax, after fees, after everything. That was the total price, $707.60, period, end of the billing. Which people told me that was an extremely low price. You need that vitamin C for the cold, Ron. I do. That's why I take the vitamin C every day, because it's not going to totally prevent you from catching a cold, no. But when you do get the cold, what is going to happen? It makes it not so bad. So I don't feel bad. Is the mezcal going to help me feel better? Yeah, I think so. It's just irritating with the nose, but it's clearing up. I can feel it's clearing up already just after 24 hours clearing up. So that's very nice. Apologies if you already said it. Did you bring back any liquor from Gibraltar? No, because there's no way to do it. You understand? Like, what am I gonna do? Carry it around? I'm doing extensive walking tours. That's basically what I did. Just walk everywhere. Now I had to take the bus from one city to another in Spain because, I could have walked, but that would have taken all day. It would have been insanity. It was only $2.50 one way, so $5 to go there and back. Well, that's €5. So what? $5.50. It was low. And well, then once I got off the bus, I'm off on the street walking. I walked all through Gibraltar. Then I had to take the ship to Spain. Not to Spain, to Africa, Spanish Africa, a Spanish territory in Africa. So but then once I got off this ship, I'm walking everywhere. I got videos made. I'm gonna post them where I'm walking everywhere. Got a lot of exercise. Oh man, let me tell you, my feet were killing me. But overnight they recovered a little bit. All right, so that's it. So this was a draw. The answer here is simple: buy the one that's cheaper, and in this case, it's Lajita. But I would say buy them both. But these blind taste tests will really clear some things up for you. Totally off subject, but how do you feel about the college football playoff with Florida State being left out? It's a scam, and it's an illegitimate playoff, and I'm not going to watch it, and it doesn't count, and it means nothing. It's the worst ever in college football.